Hello there, Aviation Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Cowboys Vintage Wings. Today we come to you on a mission of remembrance. Join us as we tell the story of a B-17 named the Joker. In the heart of Europe, where mist clings to ancient forests and rivers carve silent paths through green valleys, a story waits in the shadows. It's a story of courage and loss, of ordinary men called to extraordinary action, and a legendary aircraft that soared into history. This is not just another war story, this is the journey of the Joker, a B-17 bomber and her crew, whose fate would leave a mark on the land and in the hearts of those who remember. Tonight we travel back in time, to the days when the sky was filled with the thunder of engines and the hopes of young men risking everything. We'll uncover the secrets behind the aircraft, the mission, and the legacy that still echoes through the peaceful hills of Belgium. Before we visit the crash site, let's discover why the Joker's tale is one that refuses to be forgotten. High above the Ourthe Valley in Belgium, there's a peaceful spot with a stunning view. It's a place where folks go to hike, to think, and to remember. You see, this beautiful view is forever tied to a tragic story, the story of a B-17 bomber called the Joker and its brave crew. Now most folks wouldn't call a plane crash something beautiful, and they'd be right. But trust me, there's a powerful connection here, one that goes beyond the wreckage and speaks to the resilience of the human spirit. The memorial site itself is pretty simple, a few stones shaped as a pyramid, a plaque, and an aircraft propellers representing the B-17 plane. It is flanked by 3 flagpoles and a small cluster of trees. But when you stand there looking out over the valley, you can't help but feel the weight of what happened. Even the majestic view from the hilltop itself was carved through the trees by the crash of the Joker itself. It's like the past is reaching out asking you to remember, and remember we will. Before the Joker became a legend over the Ourthe Valley, it was one of thousands of B-17 bombers soaring across the skies of Europe. Officially known as the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, this aircraft was a marvel of engineering for its time. With a wingspan stretching nearly 100 feet and bristling with up to 13 machine guns, the B-17 earned its nickname for good reason. It was built to take a beating and still bring its crew home. The Flying Fortress could carry more than 4,000 pounds of bombs deep into enemy territory, flying at altitudes above 25,000 feet. Its 4 powerful engines gave it the range and reliability to strike targets far from friendly lines. Inside, a crew of 10 worked as one: pilot, co-pilot, navigator, bombardier, radio operator, and 5 gunners, all depending on each other for survival. During World War II, the B-17 became a symbol of hope and determination for the Allies. These planes formed the backbone of the American daylight bombing campaign, striking at the heart of enemy industry and infrastructure. Crews like those of the Joker faced incredible odds, flying through walls of flak and waves of enemy fighters, all to bring an end to the war. But for all its strength and reputation, the B-17 was still vulnerable. Every mission carried risks, and every safe return was a testament to the skill and bravery of its crew. The Joker, like so many others, was more than just a machine. It was a lifeline, a home in the sky, and for those who flew her, a symbol of the fight for freedom. The Joker was a B-17G aircraft tail number 42. 97124 belonging to the 545th Bomb Squadron, 384th Bomb Group Heavy, 8th Air Force, Grafton Underwood, Northamptonshire, England. The Joker was no stranger to the skies above Europe. It had flown its share of 8 combat missions during World War II, facing down flak and enemy fighters. But on this day, April 13, 1944, the Joker participated on a mission over Schweinfurt, Germany. The target was a ball-bearing plant that was deemed a strategic objective essential to stopping Germany's war-making capacity. The crew, 10 young men from all walks of life, were on their way back from a bombing raid over Germany. They were almost home, so close they could probably taste it, but fate, as it often does, had other plans. As the Joker flew over the Ardennes, disaster struck. The Joker came under attack from German fighter planes. Without escorts, the Joker was hit and began to lose altitude, eventually crashing in the site where the memorial now lies. Sergeant James Young was killed during the attack. Hit by enemy fire, the Joker was set ablaze and mortally wounded. It entered a graveyard spiral towards the earth. The remaining crew members jumped out of the plane somewhere between the villages of Vielsalm and Barismanil. But what fate awaited the crew of the Joker after bailing out? Although local citizens rushed to the scene to check for survivors, they found none, and only saw 3 parachutes in the distance and the remains of 1 airman in the wreckage, the burned body of Sergeant Young. The other crew members were scattered over the Ardennes and attempted to evade capture. Lieutenant Herbert Swanson, pilot, tried to escape via Spain, but was arrested by the Germans. The gunners, Sergeants Ralph Sack, Gordon McIntosh and Edward Zabinski tried to reach Switzerland, but were also arrested by the Germans. Sergeant Donald Brown, gunner, and Second Lieutenant Charles White, the navigator, tried to escape via Cherbourg but were also arrested. Second Lieutenant Austin Dunning, the bombardier, wanted to escape via Switzerland just like the gunners, but unfortunately was also caught. Second Lieutenant Donald Smith, co-pilot, and Sergeant Clarence Wieseckle, radio operator, both managed to reach Switzerland via a separate route where they met again. Fortunately, all 9 remaining crew members survived the war. One of the airmen who perished that day was Sergeant James Young. He was just 21 years old. Today, a simple stone marks his final resting place near the crash site. It's a somber reminder that behind every name on a memorial, there's a story, a life lived, and a life lost. Over the years, the crash site of the Joker has become more than just a place of tragedy. It's a place of remembrance, a place where people come to pay their respects to the fallen and to celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. The village of B-17’s, Belgium has dedicated their time and effort to honor the sacrifice of the crew of the Joker. A memorial to the Joker crew was erected near the crash site in 1984. In 1992, the American unit of the NATO AWACS group stationed in Geilenkirchen Air Base, Germany, inherited responsibility for it. Since then, American airmen have gathered shoulder to shoulder with the Belgium community to honor and remember the crew of the Joker. Our friend Isabel Engels, a bilingual Belgian author and former NATO employee, has organized the ceremony for more than 30 years. She has dedicated countless hours and researched the crew of the Joker, and has written quite a fine history of it. During that time, she has tracked down the fates of the 9 surviving crew members and connected with the family of the sergeant, James H. Young. Isabel went as far as publishing a book to honor the crew and keep their story alive. The Joker's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times there is always hope, and today serves to build international relations many years after the events took place. So the next time you're feeling lost or discouraged, remember the tenacity of the Joker and its crew. Remember their sacrifice, their bravery, and let their story inspire you to live your life to the fullest. Thank you for taking a little time of your day to remember the Joker. On behalf of Cowboys Vintage Wings and our friends from Barismerel, Belgium, we send a message to the crew of the B-17 known as the Joker. Gentlemen, please know that your sacrifice will never be forgotten. We wish you tailwinds heading west, blue skies, and happy landings in the clouds. Till Valhalla, this is Cowboys Vintage Wings signing out. Keep your wings level and remember the Joker. Cowboy out.